Hi, I'm Chris. This is my beautiful wife, Jennifer. These are wedding rings. And behind me are pinball machines. How did these all combine together? Well, I brought a pinball machine to my wedding. I mean, doesn't everybody?
$11 o'clock.
11 o'clock on our wedding day. Hey everyone, this is Chris, aka Spot01A, and I've wanted to share this video for a long time. In fact, I haven't done a video in a long time, so just being able to share anything is pretty fun right now. I hope you all are doing well, and if you followed my channel for any length of time, you know that I have been a pinball collector, enthusiast, and player since I was young.
We got a copy of Diner here?
Yeah, that was me. So it kind of makes sense that I would have a video called I Brought a Pinball Machine to My Wedding. And I kind of want to share the story, not only about my happiness with the event, but also how it connects to my crazy hobbies.
That's the spirit thing, lend a hand.
But in order to do that, we have to kind of rewind to the summer of 2023 because we got married in September. And so it was around the corner. We were getting married at the Conneaut Hotel, and the Conneaut Hotel has changed quite a bit since then. But at the time, it was very vintage, very old, and was known as a haunted hotel. And vintage was our theme, so it worked out well. And we also wanted to sprinkle it with a little bit of ourselves. You know, obviously you have photographs all over the place, and we had some of our hobbies and stuff in photographs, but we wanted to do something a little more than that. Like Jennifer is a huge I Love Lucy fan, huge. We talked about doing a photograph/caricature that would kind of be at the entrance as people walked in, very I Love Lucy based, and it came out great. In fact, before the reception, Jennifer and I did a little comedy number where we acted out the Cuban Pete stuff from I Love Lucy, and it was really, really fun. On my end, I was like, I don't know, I said, wouldn't it be funny if I could actually bring a pinball machine for the cocktail room, because they considered it a cocktail area. There was a fireplace, and that's where all the hors d'oeuvres and stuff were going to be. So wouldn't it be funny if I could bring a machine there and leave it there? But I never thought that would happen. Well, to make a long story short, I joked with our wedding coordinator, Kim, out of Conneaut, and she said, sure, go ahead. And then I joked with my friend Tom, who's a pinball friend of mine around here, and he said, you know what? I'll take it for you. I'll watch over it, and that'll be part of your wedding gift. And all of a sudden, I'm bringing a pinball machine to my wedding. And that's kind of how it started. And when we first thought about, okay, haunted hotel, what game? The Addams Family was the first thing that came to mind. I own the machine. Even though it's in storage and hasn't been played for a while, it should be pretty solid. But I kind of thought, there's steps involved. It's in storage. I'm not sure if it's 100% working. I haven't had it on for a while. And I knew it was going to be on for 2 days straight because I was going to leave it on for the hotel guests and people there just to play. And that's when we kind of thought, well, the Munsters.
9 o'clock. Nevermore.
The Munsters is very much kind of in that vein, kind of fits with the haunted hotel theme, maybe a little bit. And it's a newer game. I knew it would last a couple of days. I wouldn't have to worry about it. And that's kind of how it happened. My friend Tom brought it up the Friday of our rehearsal dinner and when we were setting everything up. And then I got there and it was already there in the corner. At that point, we had our rehearsal dinner out on this beautiful porch overlooking the water. And then we all kind of stood around and drank a little bit and played a little bit of pinball that just happened to be there. It has completely different physics, And then the wedding happened, and it was beautiful, and people were playing, and I wish I'd gotten a little more footage, a few more photographs of people playing, but there was a lot of stuff going on. You know, if you've ever been married and had this kind of stuff, you know, the day kind of starts and then it's over. And the last thing I was thinking about was getting pictures and video of it. I wanted to get a picture at the Tilt-A-Whirl, which is the Tilt-A-Whirl that I grew up riding when I was a kid. And they obliged. You know, the games was solid. Apparently not one stuck ball, nothing happened. It played flawlessly. And there were over 300 plays over those couple of days. I did turn it off overnight the first night, but I left it on overnight the second night. And when I was downstairs after the wedding at like 4 a.m., I noticed a couple who were staying at the hotel were playing it. And I walked over and I talked to them and they said, well, we stay here every year and there's never anything to do here. And here's this game. And I thought, that's great. That's mine. Enjoy it. So, and then Tom picked it up and brought it back home. And that's how I got a pinball machine at my wedding. It was an amazing day. It was a day that I'll never forget. And it could have been better. It was a beautiful day outside. It was a beautiful day inside. Everyone seemed to have a great time. And I got one of my own hobbies and pastimes tied into it, which honestly, if I were to tell some of my friends who didn't make the wedding, hey, guess what? I had a pinball machine at my wedding. They probably would say, well, yeah, of course you did. And really quick, for those of you astute observers out there who have been part of the channel for a while, you will note that I have the Raven topper for my Munsters. Now, how can that be? Because I had such a time trying to find a working one in the past. Well, somebody essentially gave me a wedding price for a working topper that they had. You know how much I really wanted it and wanted it complete. I still had to take it apart though and sort of do some modifications to it, but it's pretty darn good now. And so that topper, along with the machine, are very, very special to both Jen and I. Okay, one more thing really quick related to pinball and a wedding. I got Jennifer the lovely Lucy pinball machine, 1954 Gottlieb wood rail. It's the only I Love Lucy based pinball machine. It's called Lovely Lucy, so it's kind of an I Love Lucy thing. You know, this came out at a time where people weren't going to sue each other over everything. So it's Lucy, but it's not Lucy, if you know what I'm saying. And a great friend of mine, Pat Gallagher, had it at a convention. I bought it from him. He hung on to it. And while we were on our honeymoon, he brought it down to the house. And I was able to surprise her by kind of like unveiling it to her. It was a great thing. And again, it's another special pinball machine that is related to something we love. And it's also related to a special event, which is our wedding. Anyway, thanks for letting me share my story. Hope everyone's doing well. And I hope to see you all again soon. And remember, keep on flipping.